All right, good morning. Taking advantage of my holiday. It's about 8 o'clock on October 9th, Columbus Day. I'm going to finish up cleaning up in here that I kind of left in a rush on Friday when I was over here. So get the area cleaned up. I've already got all the boot area and everything assessed that I wanted to do. Got those parts on order from Rimmers. So that's hopefully going to be here next week. So today... should have a good solid 6 or 8 hours over here today. I'm going to work on putting in the strengthener plate on this side and then put in this piece here, get this prepped here. If you remember, I stole that piece from the black car, so get that prepped there and get that guy in. Finish up a couple of the spot welds on the lower A post and run a couple beads inside here. Just to kind of attach the floor. I did that on the driver's side as well. And then depending on how everything fits up and whatnot, I may try to get the outer sill in over here. I've also got the backing plate here for the rear radius arm. That should be relatively straightforward to get in. A lot of plug welds, but otherwise not too bad. So moving on. Hopefully, knock on wood, I can be out of the passenger side, or at least pretty close to it. I got that guy to put back in, and I got to do some more rust assessment up there. But put that guy back in, and I got to rebuild the rear of the wing there. But that's the plan today. And if I can get through a lot of that or most of that, I may go back over to the driver's side and be done with that puppy over there. The only thing that concerns me today, the thing that I'm still not sure of, is putting on the front end caps for the outer sill. I'm not positive how they go. The driver's side kind of gave me a little bit of a concern with making sure that everything was correct, so I'm not too sure. But that's the plan for today. So about a half an hour of cleaning here to kind of try to get everything undustified, and then we'll go from there. All right, 9 o'clock, quick update. Got the garage cleaned up. So I had mentioned in my last video that I had to drill out the strengthener plate because I couldn't get the hole punch thing to work. So you can see how wavy that made that. Hopefully you can kind of see that seam there, but it is fitted in, and it's pretty thin metal. 20 gauge here, or 18 gauge or something like that. So it's not going to be hard to bend, and the way that it provides strength is not going this way, but preventing the body from folding in half. So the strength is going to be felt through the piece of metal instead of at the side of it, laterally to it. So the waviness and what have you, whatever you want to call it, is not going to be impacting the strength of the ability of the strengthener to perform its function as said name strengthener. So I just wanted to point that out in case you might be concerned or run into the same problem when you do something similar to this. But because of the way that the stress is going to be imposed on this piece, it's not going to impact it laterally. It's going to move down the axis of the piece, which is not sacrificed in this case. So just pointing that out. And moving on. All right, 944, got the strengthener plate welded in. You can still see some of those ripples there. I'm just going to bang those flush, stick a dolly here, and just bang on that side and come at them. Obviously not ground down yet, but I'm pretty happy with the welds, all the plug welds. Again, this is a pretty easy welding to do as far as position and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple bad ones in there, but pretty happy. The transition there. I decided to do it from this side instead of the inside. I got one little touch there, and then tried to take as best I could from the inside here. The bottom one is good. The top one, not so much. But yeah, so moving along. Still got a bunch of plug welds yet to do on the inner sill, but I think right now I'm going to concentrate on this area and getting this prepped up. To put that down so that I can start looking at doing the outer sill potentially, and go from there. All right, it's about 11:45. Got the bottom portion of the upper A post here fitted and ground down and cut and what have you to make it fit. So I'm going to hit it with the POR 15 rust converter, metal prep stuff, prime it, and then put it in there. I do have one hole to drill, at least one, if not two holes to drill here and over here to do some plug welds to get it on the supports there. But cut it a little short over here, but I'm not going to worry about that. So while I'm waiting for all that stuff to do, I'll go back and grind all the plug welds down over here. Probably do some plug welds on the inner sill. Actually, I think I'll probably just weld first, and then get the backing plate or the strut mounting. I always get the name of that thing wrong. Rear radius arm mounting bracket welded in, and I think that'll be it until the next major kind of portion here, which will be trying to fit in a outer sill, which is scary. So moving right along. All right, quick updates. Just about 12 o'clock. I got the heel board welded in. It was a real pain in the rear, or I shouldn't say heel board. The mounting bracket kept popping on me. Wasn't getting good penetration on the other side of the bracket. The typical problems I had with two dissimilar thickness metals and welding them up. So I ran a couple beads across the edges to kind of try to hold it there, and then plug weld it. So hopefully that holds. I'd hate to have that thing, you know, fall apart and come loose while the car is trying to move down the road. That'd kind of be unfortunate. Got the rest of the inner sill welded in. I've got this piece here primed. I'm going to get that fit up and get that tacked in and continue on. All right, it's 2 o'clock. Quick update. So I got all the repair here done. There's a couple spots that need to have some attention. I haven't attached the lip on the bottom yet, but I will. So that's good to go. I made it the outer sill up. Was about 4 or 5 millimeters too long based on my measurements, and though I didn't want to, I did cut the back of it a little bit. Unfortunately, I was a little crooked at one point down in here, so it's good at the bottom, it's good at the top, but in this center portion here I lost a couple millimeters, but so be it. But I got 92.5 millimeters between this point here and this point here, which is how it was coming apart. So I know I'm pretty confident the door will fit. When I put the door up the first time, I had these flush, and that gap wasn't too bad, so now it should be even better. And the transition piece, which is down here, that transition piece now will fit nice. Yeah, see that very little gap there, so that's good. But I think I'm going to kind of stop here because of I'm going to get home a little earlier than planned, and I'm at a good stopping point for this side. But I'm going to go to town, I think, on the rear valance and see if I can get that guy out of there without causing too much damage. I may stop where I'm at with that, but I think the rear valance shouldn't be too bad to come off. Heck, half of it's not attached anymore anyway. So that's my next plan of attack. Good on the sills. I'm confident on this side. There's a lot of panel beating and everything that I got. You can see how that's kind of curved up there. This side curves compared to this side, so I've got some straightening and some modification to do to that guy just from the stamping, the flex in the metal, but not too bad. So keep them going. Yeah, real quick before I forget, when I put this repair piece in here, you can see that it's not welded on the bottom. I should have welded the lower A post. It's got like a little lip that goes in into there, and you can see I got a little bit of a gap in there. I think you can see that. I meant to weld that before I put the repair piece in, unfortunately, just because it's easier to clamp and easier to get at. I had that little space. I do have room back here that I can clamp it down at. You can see it kind of moving there. So we'll see if that's going to be a mistake or not, but I wanted to point that out, that I had intended to weld that first, but we'll see what happens. All right, it's 2:37. Last update, just got the started to working on the rear, and I just my drill bits are not built for welding or drilling all these tack welds out, so I'm gonna have to, or spot welds, I'm gonna have to get some new drill bits. But an interesting tidbit, so the finisher piece essentially was gone all right here. You can see the remains on the floor over there. It was gone all right here, but it was tack welded, spot welded to about this point, or this point right here. So it joined the finisher piece, the wing, and the boot floor, I think, is right about there. And then right about here is where the rear valance starts and goes up, and that joint's there. Now there's no, the finisher was not joined there at all, was not spot welded, but it was brazed up here. So you can see the spot welds, I think, in there. So there's 10 or 12 that I'm looking at right there. So they have to come off. The various random ones down at the bottom here that are still attached, they'll have to come off. You got several that are right in here in that little cranny, several same place on the other side, and then I think it spot welds from the bottom up into this side of the boot there. So that's going to be a little tricky, but like I said, I just don't have that many drill bits and whatever, and I'm a little worn out from the day. I get burned out doing this fabrication stuff pretty quickly. So I should be back tomorrow, and I think I'm just going to stick with doing the sill here and actually, you know, finish something instead of moving on to the boot floor, especially since I got a couple days at least before Rimmer shows up. So anyway, I broke 100 subscribers this weekend for my YouTube channel, so that's pretty exciting. Thanks to all that have watched and liked. Please continue to do so, and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Also, the website is up and running, www.roundtailrestoration.com, with a bunch of links and various parts houses and other things, and that's still a little bit of a work in progress. But I got some visions there, but we'll see how it goes. So I hope everybody enjoyed their 3-day weekend, those that could take advantage of it, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.